Hey everyone, I hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter in whatever format it is you're choosing to play it as. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about Monster Hunter Now, since during the Tokyo Game Show digital Capcom presentation that they held, they decided to give a little bit of some news updates for this game. So I kind of wanted to create a little bit of a catch-all video specifically for Monster Hunter Now, since not only did they provide us information during the actual presentation, but also information outside of there through social media pages as well. So I kind of wanted to cover everything that they provided us around this time period. Very quickly, they just dedicated about a minute and a half or so in the actual presentation, giving players a little bit of introduction if they don't necessarily know what Monster Hunter Now is, that they can go ahead and check it out through their mobile devices, which is of course kind of expected. I think the thing that really caught everyone by surprise is the fact that they still have not provided us, and this is something that I personally even discussed in my predictions video heading into Tokyo Game Show, that they would give us some sort of roadmap, some sort of notion as to what kind of content drops we should be expecting, X monsters, X weapons, time window, those kind of things, and they did not deliver on that. That is by any means, by any sort of discussion thresholds that I've seen in social media regarding this game, a big miss, just a huge L on their part, because a lot of players are very critical of the content that is available on day one, and the fact now that they are talking about the next major update actually happening in December. Let me reiterate this. We're at the tail end of September. Tokyo Game Show is still currently going on as this video is being recorded, and of course it's going to go live. So we're 3 months away from the next major update, and people are kind of already burned by a lot of the content that's available in the game. That is a huge miss. Now, of course, hopefully they reconsider or something along those lines, but that is not really looking very good. Also, and this is something that I wanted to clarify that I spoke about in my very quick reactions to the Tokyo Game Show presentation, in the actual stream in Japanese, they speak about the fact that there are multiple monsters coming, but in the English version, again, they just said singularly, as in like one new monster is coming. They make this little gesture about a roar. A lot of people are saying that it's actually Sonogre. I guess so. You know, a lot of people say it sounds like Sonogre, so I'll just go with that. There's no leaks suggesting that it could be Sonogre, but it is what it is. So if they're just talking about one monster here in North America, but for whatever reason in Japanese stream they're making it sound like multiple, that is something that is throwing a lot of people off. It can't just necessarily be every 4 months we're going to get one monster. That is just an asinine move on Niantic's part if that is what they're trying to do. I hope they know a little bit better than that, so I probably shouldn't, put that much focus into it, but it's certainly worth noticing. They also spoke about the fact that new weapons are going to be coming in to the game, but they didn't necessarily say how many, if it's just one or whatever. They just said new weapon types are planned, as well as more monsters. So again, the fact that they're just saying December and we have no concept of a roadmap, that is just, I have a lot of questions regarding that, but it is what it is. Another one of the things that we did specifically get to see outside of the Tokyo Game Show digital presentation, which they did not touch upon in the stream themselves, is the fact there is a digital time-limited event happening right now with a Diablos invasion. Diablos will appear more frequently in the desert regions. Catch the first in-game event starting September 23rd and 24th here in North America, but I believe it's already live for Japanese players and Asian players and maybe even European players. I don't know, the timing on this stuff is kind of all over the place. So, do keep your eyes peeled for that if you're looking for that Diablos limited event. They updated their website as well to kind of reflect that. I'm going to be overlaying some information on the screen here for you guys to be able to read through that and parse whatever it is that you need kind of take away from it. They do speak about the fact that if you haven't necessarily progressed through the main story to see the Diablos, you need to be at the very least HR 11. Event quest will automatically be made available at HR 11 for that special quest tab. So you basically just need to kind of level up a little bit to be able to kind of have access to that limited event. But again, there's just so much limited content available in the game that a lot of players are just kind of like, they're already there. Most people that I've already spoken about this game kind of already got to that point, so nothing really much there that you're missing out on. but it is going to be, you know, extra free upgraded parts or whatever for your armor. Another one of the things that he spoke about outside of that as well, and I believe that he posted this as of the time of this video going live, would have been a day before this video went live. They also spoke about the fact that there's a 5 million official downloads have been reached. Originally, I believe they said they wanted 5 million pre-registrations, but now they're just saying they've reached 5 million downloads. So 5,000 centi, 2 paintballs, some redemption code tickets will be made available. You can basically start to download that on October 12th, I believe is what they're saying. So those rewards will go in at a later date, I believe in a couple of weeks from now, weirdly enough, you know, for whatever reason. But that is what we're looking at in those regards. The last thing that I wanted to quickly mention as well is the fact that I've seen some people complaining about seeing players online kind of like glitching with like basically upgraded armors and like maxed out stats and stuff like that. Not necessarily corrupting their hunts, but like they can just like one hit KO monsters and stuff like that, which doesn't surprise me. Mobile devices, you know, you can kind of do that. But you would imagine that the Niantic servers can kind of like pick up on that. I believe Pokemon Go went through a period where, you know, people were cheating and stuff like that, and, you know, getting around that kind of stuff. And then eventually Niantic figured it out and cracked down on stuff like that. I've personally been reached out by a couple of companies that are trying to sell software, so you can actually spoof your IP or something, so you can make it think like you're in a different location and get it to kind of like think that you're walking around the entire time collecting better rewards. But I've not necessarily wanted to take them up on that and talk about it, at the very least promoting it, because that's not something I really want to do. I don't want to get involved in that kind of stuff, but I have been reached out to that. I don't know if that's related to this, but I have seen some reports that people are complaining that, you know, some people are kind of jumping into random hunts with one hit KO kind of weapons and just broken stats in their armor, and they're just kind of like ruining the hunts for other people. But again, this is mobile stuff. It usually gets sorted out in a live service type of situation. So kind of that's pretty much the little catch-all set of information that I wanted to go over regarding Monster Hunter Now. Again, my biggest concern right now is my skepticism towards them. I mentioned in my reaction video to the Tokyo Game Show presentation, can they keep this game alive to December? Honestly, that's an honest question. I don't want to seem like too skeptical or cynical or negative. Can they keep this game alive with the content that they currently have right now, without any sort of major patches and major updates and major new weapons or new monsters or anything, alive by December? Will anyone care by the time that we get to December if they actually don't drop new content, new armors, new monsters and stuff like that? I highly doubt that, you know, because people, when it comes to mobile games, they just move on. If we're a few days in, a few weeks in, or maybe about a month and a half in for those who got into the soft launch of the game, and they were already complaining about the content not being sufficient, what makes you think people are going to hold out to December? I don't see it. I hope to have a better plan. I really, really hoped that they would showcase some sort of roadmap or something along those lines to give us some sort of vague idea, because even in the presentation themselves, they spoke about the fact that there's going to be major patches every season. Okay, well, how long is the season? Is it a month? Is it 3 months? You know, every mobile game is different. They didn't specify any of that. And again, maybe I'm missing on that. I haven't seen it posted anywhere. So again, I try to follow Monster Hunter stuff as best as I can. I've not seen that information pop up anywhere. So if anyone can actually direct me on if they've ever actually set a time window for how long a season is, do let me know. However, the fact that they haven't made that very relatively public, it makes me wonder just what their actual plan is. Do they just plan a slow rollout to kind of keep this game alive every 3 months or so? You know, do something kind of like Nintendo does with Splatoon. But again, I don't think they have the audience that Splatoon has. And also, that's a $60 game. That's not a free mobile game. So there is some sort of investment when you buy a $60 game to keep playing it. Whether with this is like, I could just delete the app and not worry about it for another 4 months until you decide to provide me new content, which, you know, it doesn't seem like they're doing anytime soon. Again, until December. So again, I don't want to sound pessimistic or critical or whatever. I'm sure they have a plan, but the fact that they didn't talk about it in this presentation, which is the place where they had the most amount of eyes to do so, and they didn't, it makes me a little bit question. It makes me just question their entire plan all along. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. I'm going to try to follow this video up with a couple of more Monster Hunter updates. My channel has kind of been all over the place talking about other games since there's not a lot of Monster Hunter information going around. But thanks to Tokyo Game Show, there is a lot of details happening as of right now. If you're brand new to my channel, though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.